It's 1 week before Christmas, and I've joined young mums and dads, Muslims and Christians, Jews and Gentiles, Arabs and Anglo-Saxons to proclaim the message of Christ to the world. Love will ultimately triumph over greed and evil, but it doesn't come easy. No, it doesn't come easy.
Our futures are united. Our futures are united. Our futures are united. We need each precious one. We need each precious one. Safety for fathers, mothers, and child. Holy infants alive with smiles. Cease fire now. Cease fire now. All is calm. All is bright. Safety for fathers, mothers, and child. Holy infants alive with smiles. Cease fire now. Cease
fire now.
I've seen this ugly side of America before, going back to when I was a university student in Australia.
This is really war. Its goal is to conquer the South, to defeat American power, and to extend the Asiatic dominion of communism.
There were more violent clashes between anti-war demonstrators and police in the streets of Sydney and Melbourne today. Police asked students...
The Vietnam War split the Australian community in two.
Going back to when I was a university student in Australia, at the time of the Vietnam War, when we too had conscription, and we fell into line with Uncle Sam's demand that we send our young men to fight and die in the jungles of Vietnam.
We do not want an expanding struggle with consequences that no one can foresee, nor will we bluster or bully or flaunt our power. But we will not surrender, and we will not retreat.
When LBJ and President Nixon tried to exterminate the Vietnamese people. When the alcoholic Nixon wanted to drop the atomic bomb on Hanoi, was only stopped from doing so by the equally murderous Henry Kissinger.
Safety for fathers, mothers, and child. Holy infants alive with smiles. Cease fire now. Free Palestine!
We arrive at the front of the State Department. And it's lunchtime. As anonymous employees of the deep state take a break from diligently carrying out their daily tasks of furthering the empire.
Hallelujah. Free Palestine.
I was at a press conference yesterday where there were 3 people from the State Department. 2 of them resigned because of the U.S. support for genocide. They deliberately do not apply the Leahy law that says that our military aid can't go to countries and military units that are committing war crimes. So we had Josh Paul, who resigned. We had Charles Blaha, who is a 30-year veteran of the State Department. And we had Anel Shilain, a woman who is so distraught, having worked here in the Human Rights and Democracy Division of the State Department. And she said, how could I come in every day and talk about human rights when the U.S. is a partner in genocide? And so just think about these people that get up every morning, get dressed, have their breakfast, whatever, make their way to the State Department, and are complicit. Where is their morality? Where is their heart? Where is their soul? Where is their conscience? And I think us being out here today, singing the beautiful words to these Christmas carols, being here as Muslims, Christians, Jews, and non-believers, we are here to say to the State Department, we want you to have a sense of religious depth with you every day when you get up in the morning, and bring that to your work. And if you can't apply that in your work, then you must resign. You have to resign. So let's tell them, resign, 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 resign.
State Department, you can't hide.
It's time for you to resign.
It's time for you to resign.
As an outsider who's been coming and going to the United States for the last 50 years, I'm still struck by the glaring contradictions of the world's richest nation that can spend billions of dollars every week in making war, but cannot guarantee all its own people, all native-born Americans, a dry and warm bed, a roof over their heads each night. Here, just 50 yards from the Tower of Babel, the State Department, with an annual budget for fiscal year 2024 of nearly $57 billion, sleeps US Army veteran Jamie and his dog Spirit.
How long have you been living here for?
I've been living here in for DC for about 2 years now.
Right.
Year and a half, 2 years. I'm getting because I was a Marine. I swore an oath to defend the Constitution from enemies, foreign and domestic. That's why I'm in DC. I see them as enemies of the Constitution.
I'm a 17-year Army veteran. I'm a mother. I'm a Christian. I'm a patriot to my country. And for the past year, I have been watching Israel bomb and burn children alive. I'm traumatized. It's triggered my PTSD as a veteran in more ways than I can ever even express with the English language. I think most Americans are traumatized right now. As Christians, we are traumatized. This is not what God intended for us to do in this world. The State Department behind me has lost all moral courage, all moral grounds. and they are complicit in the genocide of children.
Died in the arms of her son, who's a doctor. She could have easily been saved, but he could not save her because there are no medicine. Another relative, her sister, actually died because of malnutrition. Another family relatives of mine, they split, the two brothers, one in St. Porphyrius and the other in the Church of the Holy Family, so that if one family is killed under the bombs, like some of the relatives have been, and by snipers, by the way, the other will survive, maybe. These are the stories from the genocide that this office is perpetrating. These are the allies that we have in this department. And now they have destroyed Syria like they have destroyed all these other countries and keep destroying because Syria did not fall in line. And so now the people who praised Syria for being a source of stability, these people are, singing the destruction of Syria along with Lebanon, along with Palestine, along with Afghanistan and Iraq and Libya. والحبل على الجرار, as we say in Arabic. And then there are the Christians, the so-called Christians who do not see any war that they do not love. Destroy the rest so that there will be the second coming of the Messiah. That's the message of love that our so-called Christian brothers, and it's not only the right wing, and it's not only the Republicans, it's also these guys. What worse genocide is there? This is a message that we should also take to our churches because our churches are cowardly. They are not speaking out. Please take the message not only to these liars, but also to our church leaders as well.
These tidings we bring to our Christian kin. Our faith compels us to call this a sin. Repeat, we wish for the liberation of the Palestinian nation, an end to the occupation, and a happy new year. We wish for the liberation of the Palestinian nation, an end to the occupation, and a happy new year.
Our faith compels us to call this a sin. We wish for the liberation of the Palestinian nation, and an end to the occupation, and a happy new year. We wish for the liberation of the Palestinian nation, an end to the occupation, and a happy new year.